I call this June 15, 2021 virtual administrative meeting of the Bernalillo County Commissioners to order. And we will have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by myself as chair. Nobody ever calls on me. And since I have the flags behind me, I will do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I just want to make note for the record that Commissioner Casada is excused for today's meeting. And Madam County Manager, are there any changes or additions to the agenda? I know that there are several.
Madam Chair and Commissioners, yes, we have 3 changes. So the first one is item 7E, Fleet and Facilities Management, the outline for a sustainability and climate action plan. So if that can be deferred to the June 29th BCC meeting to allow for additional updates. And number 2, item 8A, the industrial revenue bond notice of intent for Planera LLC to be deferred to the August 31st, 2021 meeting. And then lastly, item 10A under behavioral health. So the update for FY21 fourth quarter department or fourth quarter report, the update, if that can be deferred to the August 17th meeting. And a vote is required for the changes. Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners.
Okay, I will move to approve those changes to the agenda. Is there a second? Thank you, Commissioner Benson. All in favor? Raise your hand, please. And Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Barboa.
Aye.
Commissioner Benson.
Aye.
Commissioner O'Malley. Madam Chair Piscotti.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Those changes pass unanimously. Next, moving on to board and committee appointments. Julianne, it looks like there are two people who have applied for the Older American Advisory Council appointment. And so there's only one vacancy available. So it looks like we vote on these. Is that correct?
Madam Chair,
We vote for one? Okay.
yes, that's correct. So,
Madam Chair,
go ahead.
Madam Chair, whenever you,
Oh, that's Commissioner O'Malley. Okay.
thank you. So there's one, I guess one vacancy here. And I thought there were actually more, but apparently there's one. And I just feel that this sort of thing is very, very awkward. It's because it's really hard to get folks who are willing to volunteer anyway. And so he's kind of pitting one person against the other, I think, in some way. And what I was hoping to do is if maybe the commissioners could get together and we could just maybe defer this and decide, you know, who they want to put forward. I just feel think that, you know, this isn't the way to handle this. That's my opinion. They can do however they feel, but I would move a deferral.
Okay. And I agree with that. I think when people step up to serve on our boards and commissions, I like to, you know, anybody who wants to help us, I'm totally on board with that. So I guess, Commissioner Benson, what are your thoughts since you have one of the
Yeah. Commissioner O'Malley, thank you. Appreciate that sentiment. And it is hard to get volunteers. So I would welcome that, and I'd be happy to discuss this with Commissioner Barboa. And in the reality of the situation, if both of us, you know, just insist that each person be in there, we can vote. I'm okay with that. But if we could work it out, that would be more preferable. And I appreciate Commissioner Barboa's putting forward of a great candidate as well. And I can't speak high enough my candidate. So thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that very much.
Commissioner Barboa, would you like to weigh in?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, both Commissioner O'Malley and Commissioner Benson. I definitely would like to discuss this and see if we could come to something. And yeah, I work hard for my appointments because so it wasn't just somebody that applied. I seek out folks that I think are going to either add to or have a different representation or include or new lens on things, as I'm sure Commissioner Benson did as well. So I appreciate us thinking about this process, but also and for this one, trying to work it out.
Okay. Julianne, do we need to do anything about that? Do we need to vote on a deferral for that item?
Yes, Madam Chair, if you could vote on a deferral.
Okay, then I'm gonna just move to vote for a deferral, and I bet, oh, there's Commissioner Benson seconding, so all in favor, raise your hand, and we'll have Madam Clerk call the roll on that.
Commissioner Barboa,
Aye.
Commissioner Benson,
Hi.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Hi.
Madam Chair Piscotti.
Aye.
So called.
Thank you. That passes unanimously. And Julianne, do we have anybody signed up for public comment at this point?
Madam Chair, we do not have any signups to provide live public comment. We, however, did receive one written public comment from Geraldine Amato, which will be made part of the meeting record.
Okay, I think I saw that in my email. Thank you for sending that out. So moving along, the Office of Senior and Social Services, School-Based and School-Linked Services RFP update by George Schroeder to introduce the presenters.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'm George Schroeder. I'm your Senior and Social Services Manager in the Community Services Division. This evening's presentation is to give you an update on the school-based and school-linked services that the county contracted under an RFP that went out in 2019. Of course, we know what happened in 2020. So both of these agencies will make a brief presentation about the challenges they faced and how they're moving forward. I'd like to say that the school-based and school-linked services are designed to help children succeed in school. And that can be done either by services directly to children or services to the children's parents. And these agencies do both of those things. So we have with us tonight representatives from the Albuquerque Adult Learning Center. Gloria Rael is their executive director. Raul Villarreal is the parent college program leader. And the presenter for Albuquerque Adult Learning Center will be Jamie Trujillo, and she'll start in just a moment. And the other agency that we have on contract with this is Children's Choice, and Heather Yo will make their presentation. And both of these contracts are under a program evaluation with pivot evaluation, and Dr. Curtis Mearns is also available if any questions arise about the program evaluation component of this set of contracts. So I'll turn it over to Jamie Trujillo at this point.
Thank you so much, George, and thank you to the commissioners for allowing us to present today. I am going to share my screen. So give me just a second. Okay. So again, thank you so much for allowing us to present tonight at your meeting. My name is Jamie Trujillo. I am the program director for the Albuquerque Adult Learning Center. I'm also the executive director for Challenge Island, which is one of the partners in our school-based school-linked model. I am here also tonight with Gloria Rael, our executive director, and Raul Villarreal, our parent college partner. So first, I wanted to just describe our model that we are using for the school-based school-linked grant. It is a three-prong approach that involves high school equivalency preparation for the parents and adult family members, specifically for Duranes Elementary, which is experiencing a serious drop in attendance and in enrollment. And so we wanted to be able to offer those services to their parents and families. We also have concurrent STEAM, which is STEM with the art, child educational enrichment through Challenge Island. So those activities were designed to be offered at the same time as the adults were working on high school equivalency preparation, which are hands-on and team building activities for the kids. And lastly, we have our family literacy activities that are offered by Raul with Parents College. And this gives the parents and the children an opportunity to work together on both digital tools like Khan Academy and non-digital tools like gardening or healthy eating or doing chores together, playing games together, and all of that. So this is our three-prong approach to our services that we are offering to the students and their families at Duranes Elementary. And of course, the reasoning behind that, and I won't go through all of this because of time, but the reason behind that is because we know that there is a connection between parents and their educational achievement and the children's educational achievement. If the parents are firm believers in education, that will pass on to the children, and the inverse is also true. So we wanted to be able to provide that educational foundation for the parents, the children, and the families as a whole. So as a result, our families are able to learn and play together. They're able to grow their own food and share meals. We hopefully will be able to be part of the community garden project that Duranes Elementary is starting once we're able to be there in person, and that will allow the families to grow and eat the food. They're able to build together, literally, physically build things together. They're able to build community with each other and network with other families and create that social connection, and most importantly, have fun while they are doing it. So I wanted to share just some outcomes that we have experienced this fiscal year so far. And as George pointed out, this didn't go as we had originally planned because of COVID. So everything is virtual right now. So please keep that in mind. For the adults, we have served 20 total students. Of those, 12 were considered fundable, meaning they achieved at least 12 instructional hours. Of those, 5 were able to reach 40 instructional hours and take a post-test, which tests their progression in reading, writing, and math. But what is most remarkable is that all 5 actually achieved 1 or more level gains in 1 or more subjects, which is almost unheard of for a cohort. So that brings the total level gain rate to 41.7%, as opposed to our overall program level gain rate of 32%. So this is significantly higher. So it's really great to see that the students who are persisting are making that progress. As far as the STEAM educational enrichment for the children, we did serve 15 children through Challenge Island, as well as 15 adults, because we did do some Challenge Island activities in the adult classes. And we also served 4 families. We had some parents who decided to complete activities with their children at the same time rather than working on high school equivalency work at that time. So we did have 4 families participate. And for the Parents College family literacy activities, we also had 4 families, and those were actually 4 different families that participated in those activities. So just some really quick reflections. Obviously, you can see that when there is persistence, we did see progress, we did see outcomes. However, with the virtual learning environment, we weren't able to get that community building that we were hoping for with especially with the family literacy activities, because the families weren't able to work together among and between families. They did work within their family units, but not so much together as families working together. So we did have a little bit of that lack of community cohesion, and we did serve a lot less than we had anticipated because of the digital literacy divide, because of the anxiety that our students are experiencing. We didn't serve as many as we had hoped, and the progress was a little bit slower. The good news, of course, is that when we are able to return in person, we do anticipate much higher outcomes next year with that. So just moving forward as to what we have planned, we do want to keep an element of the virtual offerings. We want to, of course, have our synchronous in-person classes as soon as we are allowed. We are in consistent contact with the Dudonis Elementary staff to see when we are able to go back in person. We are also in contact with the Los Dudonis Community Center just in case, as a sort of plan B in case we're not able to go back to the elementary school. But in addition to that, we want to continue with asynchronous online work outside of the class time, using Essential Education as our primary online platform, as well as Google Classroom as a place to house the assignments. So we definitely want to have that in-person live aspect and keep what we consider to be some of the best parts of the virtual offerings as well. And what we want to do with our synchronous schedule is have 1 to 2 hours of parents and children working separately on high school equivalency and STEAM activities, but then having that third hour be the families working together. So in a 3-hour block, it will be 1 to 2 hours separated and then 1 hour together working with the parents' college activities. And so we definitely look forward to being able to offer that to our families as soon as we can, and we are in fact planning for that come the fall. So sorry, I don't mean for this to start. I apologize. We actually have a video that we created, and just in the interest of time, I won't actually show the video, but there is a link, and I'm going to share this presentation with George so that the link is clickable and you all can see the video that we created that showcases what we have done this year for you. So we just want to say thank you so very much for your support of this project. We truly believe that this has already made a difference for the families at Dudonis and even surrounding that. And we look forward to being able to impact even more individuals in the coming fiscal year.
Thank you, Jamie. So let's now move to Heather with Children's Choice.
Well, thank you so much, Madam Chair and Commissioners, for having us here tonight. I'll keep this kind of lo-fi, but I'm Heather Yo. I'm the Outreach Director for Children's Choice. I'd like to start today by just thanking the county for the opportunity to tell you about the work that you've been supporting over this past year. And also to just say thank you for all of the guidance and support that particularly George and all the people at Pivot Evaluations have provided for us. We really appreciate your flexibility and your guidance and the communication that you provided us throughout the year. So I just really wanted to let you know what a pleasant experience it's been working with the county, and I thought you as the commissioners should know about that. To give you just the briefest of overviews, Children's Choice was founded in 1997 with the mission of facilitating the positive development of children through our after-school programming. In non-pandemic times, we serve 13 different elementary schools all over the city. 6 of those are Title I schools. In Children's Choice, we offer sort of 3 distinct programs. We have a tuition-based core after-school program, which looks like how you might imagine an after-school program to look. Students can choose to do their homework, they can self-select into playing outside games or doing science activities, or any of those kinds of things. We also offer free enrichment classes that are subject-based, and those go all school year long in normal times, and those include things like subjects like nuclear science or Lego robotics or flash mob. And in normal times, we offer about 120 of those different subject matter classes a year. And then we also offer a program called Wrinkle Writing, which takes place during the school day. And it's a year-long playwriting in the schools program where teaching artists work with full classrooms of students to help them develop their own original plays or movies that they then perform at the end of the year. So like many nonprofits, particularly those who work with children and work in the schools, our service delivery model was pretty different this year. The original scope of our services that the county was supporting through this grant was to support all of the different enrichment programming we did. So those free classes, as well as the wrinkle writing program, and that each school community that we serve could sort of customize the different ways in which they would like to have those programs available. But of course, this year was rather different. In a matter of days in early 2020, we transitioned from being an after-school provider with hours of service that usually went from about 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. to being a full-service remote school facilitator. We were open during the pandemic from 7:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. From the earliest days of the pandemic, Children's Choice supported families and students who needed a safe place to be during the day. We facilitated students attending online school from March 2020 until the return of in-person school in April 2021. With the support of Bernalillo County, we were able to serve 724 students over the course of the 2020-2021 school year in that core program. Of parents who responded to an after-year survey after this school year was over, approximately 2/3 reported that they would have been unable to work without being able to have their children attend Children's Choice. Only about 1/3 of those parents who responded to the survey said that they had any other affordable childcare options. Additionally, 96% of respondents indicated that Children's Choice kept their students safe, and 93% said that attending Children's Choice helped with their students' social skills. Students likewise reported that they flexed their social emotional learning skills. They agreed or grieved strongly that they used skills like empathy and controlling how they expressed their feelings. We served an additional 345 students in our wrinkle writing program during the school day. This program was conducted entirely remotely as part of the students' online school day. In this program, students developed their writing skills. They focused on collaboration and honed their creativity to create original scripts that they performed as staged readings and were filmed and edited so that the students could watch them with their families. I'll provide that link to George in case anybody would like to spend an evening watching original student programming. These scripts reflected the reality that the students were living with. A 5th grade class decided to write an original sketch comedy show that would explore how students were reacting and responding to the pandemic. A lot of classes wrote plays that allowed them to travel to different places in their imagination and go to different worlds, which was of course something students were sorely missing in this past year. At the end of the year, we asked students, why do we do this kind of programming? What is important about telling stories and having drama education, even online? And some of the answers that they provided included, stories are the way that we tell people who we are. It's how we know what's important to us. Another student said, it's important to make movies and make plays because they help us to feel something different. Like when you're sad, you can read or watch something to remind yourself of other ways to feel. Bernalillo County funding provided so many different opportunities for engagement this year. Students were able to attend our program for the entire school day so their parents could work. Students could engage with enrichment programming during the day through the wrinkle writing program. And when school returned in person, students could attend Children's Choice before school, after school, or access that wrinkle writing during the school day. Going forward into next school year, we look for a return toward more in-person services and doing what we do best, which is encouraging social emotional growth, sparking passion for any number of academic pursuits, and offering enrichment opportunities for students at low and moderate income schools at no cost to students or their families. We will continue to do all of this while maintaining the pandemic safety standards that have allowed us to care for students and their families throughout the entire school year. So thank you so much again for the opportunity to be here. I really appreciate being able to tell you about all the good work we've been doing this year. Thank you.
Thank you for those presentations. And with that, we can stand for questions if there are any.
Commissioner Benson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well done to both groups here. The Albuquerque Adult Learning Center. Actually, I just wanted to say bravo for adding art to this STEM. I love that. I hadn't heard of that before. And Ms. Trujillo, yeah, I feel your pain with the lack of engagement with the computer interface. I know with our own experience that especially underserved families, It's just not an effective means of education of any sort. So keep fighting the good fight, and I look forward to more progress this year. And Miss Yo, my 4 children are graduates of Children's Choice, and they've loved it, and we loved it. And as parents, we loved it because our kids were safe and they were progressing, but our kids loved it. They were disappointed when they couldn't go to Children's Choice afterwards. You guys are running a great organization. And also thank you for continuing to operate this last year. It was one of the best kept secrets that while APS was shut down, you all were still operating inside of APS so that families could keep working and the children were getting an education. So just thank you. Hats off to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Commissioner Barboa.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Madam Chair. And I had the privilege of meeting with Miss Gloria Rayel and Jamie Trujillo, I guess 2 weeks ago or so, and hear about the great programs they're doing, how innovative they are. I just just want to thank you all for the work you're doing and making such important pivots right now during a pandemic, so that we could continue to see adult education is so important in that, right? So many, we know the graduation rates over time and history in our county, and what does that mean for our families who are trying to do their best. And I just want to add that, you know, the state legislature changed PEDs, so overall our families need access to adult education. I appreciate this program, but the state legislature also changed standards for the funding. It used to be that you could get funding to complete your education, or you could be accepted to complete your education up to like 23, I think it was. And I know, as someone who worked with disability students, that there was a lot of disability students that actually took that extra time to get it. And now, since the state legislature has changed that, there is an even larger gap in what was already an existing canyon of the need for adult education. So I just want to thank the program. And then I thought I was going to be the coolest kid on the team that had graduates of Children's Choice, but my 2 children also are graduates of Children's Choice. And as a single mom, my kids are now 21 and 25 years old, but as a single mom in all those elementary years, I can't tell you how valuable Children's Choice was to our lives. I was that parent that picked up the kids at the 6 o'clock last minute hour, and it was with total understanding, love, and my kids felt like not just loved and appreciated and valued, but they were engaged in physical activities, mind-changing activities, relationship building, theater. I mean, just so much. And wow, I'm so happy and not surprised to hear that you all still made it happen during a pandemic. So just yay to all of it. So thankful.
Okay, thank you for those comments, and thank you for this great presentation. And I have to say, I loved your PowerPoint. It was just beautiful, and I can't wait to get it and watch your video. So thank you so much. And so moving on to approval of minutes. I will move to approve the May 25th, 2021 administrative meeting minutes. Do I have a second? Come on. Thank you, Commissioner Barboa. All in favor of approving those minutes? Raise your hand. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Barboa,
Aye.
Commissioner Benson,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Malley, Madam Chair Piscotti.
Aye.
So-
Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. I'll go ahead and move to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Malley. All in favor, raise your hand. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Barboa,
Aye.
Commissioner Benson,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Aye.
Madam Chair Piscotti.
Aye.
So called.
That passes unanimously. Thank you. And moving on, Our 8A, adoption of resolution, is deferred to August 17. And so all the way down to approvals, human resources, collective bargaining agreement with the Albuquerque Area Firefighters Local 244, Bernalillo County Chapter, Bernadette Perez to present.
Good evening. Let's see, give me 1 second here. Okay, good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners. Human Resources is recommending your approval of the negotiated changes to the collective bargaining agreement for the Albuquerque Area Firefighters, IAFF Local 244. The 2020-2022 contract was approved by Bernalillo County Commissioners on November 10th of 2020, which included a reopener clause for economic articles. Negotiations for these articles commenced on May 21st of 2021 and reached tentative agreement on the same date. The union was able to ratify the contract on June 2nd of 2021. The county thanks the management and union negotiating team members of the IAFF Local 244 for their hard work in reaching this agreement. Deputy Fire Chief Zachary Lardy and Union Vice President Angel Alvarado are also in attendance in the event that they have anything else to add. Otherwise, I stand for any questions.
Okay, any questions, comments? Seeing none. Do I have a motion to approve the collective bargaining agreement? I saw Commissioner Benson first. I'll take that as a second from Commissioner Barboa. All in favor, raise your hand, and Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Barboa,
Aye.
Commissioner Benson,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Malley, Madam Chair Piscotti.
Aye.
Thank you.
That passes unanimously. Thank you. And so before we move on, I have closed meeting statements to read. So the first one, I offer the following statement regarding the closed litigation meeting held Wednesday, May 12, 2021 at 3:30 p.m. Only those items described on the published notice and the agenda for the closed meeting held on May 12, 2021 were discussed at the closed meeting. I need a motion for approval of this statement, and it will become part of the minutes of this meeting. Is there a motion to approve this? Thank you, Commissioner O'Malley. Julianne, do we need a full vote on that?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Okay, I'll go ahead and second it. All in favor, raise your hand. And Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Barboa,
Aye.
Commissioner Benson,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Aye.
Madam Chair Piscotti.
Aye.
So called.
Thank you. That passes unanimously. And closed meeting statement 2, I move that the Bernalillo County attorney be authorized to proceed with the matters discussed in the closed meeting held on Wednesday, May 12, 2021, within the parameters set by this commission. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner O'Malley. All in favor? And Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Barboa,
Aye.
Commissioner Benson,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Aye.
Madam Chair Piscotti.
Aye. Thank you. That passes unanimously. We have one more closed meeting statement. I offer the following statement regarding the closed litigation meeting held Monday, June 14, 2021 at 9:30 a.m. Only those items described on the published notice and agenda for the closed meeting held on June 14, 2021 were discussed at the closed meeting. I need a motion for approval of this statement, and it will become part of the minutes of this meeting. Who's going to give me a little motion? Thank you, Commissioner Barboa. Anyone want to second that for me?
Madam Chair, I wasn't at the meeting, so I won't.
Oh, thank you. That's right. Thank you. So you're recused from this vote. I see Commissioner Benson seconds, and we'll go ahead and vote. And Madam Clerk, Call the
Commissioner
roll.
Barboa,
please.
Aye.
Commissioner Benson,
Aye.
Madam Chair Piscotti.
Aye, so that passes
Oh.
unanimously. We've got one more statement. I move that the Bernalillo County Attorney be authorized to proceed with the matters discussed in the closed meeting held on Monday, June 14, 2021, within the parameters set by this commission. Who's going to second? Thank you, Commissioner Barboa. Let's all raise our hands if we agree with that. And Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Commissioner Barboa,
Aye.
Commissioner Benson,
Aye.
Commissioner O'Malley.
She's excused,
Oh, okay, I didn't realize. All right.
but I will aye.
Okay, Madam Chair Piscotti, thank you.
Thank you. That passes unanimously. Our discussion item A is deferred. And so our next meeting will be Tuesday, June 29, 2021, administrative meeting at 5 p.m. via Zoom. I also want to mention that next week, Tuesday, the 22nd, we will be doing our special meeting for the appointment of New Mexico House District 28. And that begins at 4 p.m., I believe. So join us via Zoom. Signing of official documents, and if there's no other business, this meeting is adjourned. Take care, stay cool, be well.